Today is our 49th wedding anniversary. Happy anniversary, babe. A few years ago, we had the opportunity to be interviewed by the BBC on a program called The Digital Human. We were able to share about our marriage and why we do what we do, and we wanted to share that with you.
In today's program, we're looking for the unnoticed.
All right, and we'll just give that a minute to pick up its GPS signal. We'll take off to a starting point that we created for the video, and it's right near an old potato shed. The drone, it can fly about 25 minutes, and so this little video is 45 seconds, so we have plenty of time to fine-tune it. So away we go.
This is Larry and his wife, Chris.
My name is Chris Solik, and I'm married to Larry Solik. We've been married about 43 years.
Not only that, but they've also spent much of that time working together, too.
For quite a few years, we actually were chicken farmers. Lately, we've been working at a company that owns a bunch of nursing homes, but we also just enjoy making videos together. Just whenever we're in the mood to create a new video, we go for it.
But don't worry if you've not seen them online. Hardly anybody has. There's simply one lone voice shouting into a hurricane of content that's uploaded every second. But if no one sees what you post, why bother? Why, for instance, go to all the trouble of programming a drone to film you going around your garden singing a schmaltzy love song? Who do you imagine it's for? It would be very easy to mock the likes of Chris and Larry as some kind of wannabes, but their urge to create and to put something out there is sincere, even when it remains largely unnoticed.
We don't really intend to have a large audience.
Oh, creativity is an important part of our lives. I don't know, it's like, where does this come from? But it's so satisfying. It's almost like that's what we were designed to do, was to create. And so we just went with the flow of what we are.
Yes, we don't believe that creativity does need an audience to express itself, but by creating, we are giving.
That might mean a slightly rough and ready duet or something comic inspired by domestic life, all delivered with an innocent charm.
We have videos out there that have been there for 10 years that have 10 views, and that's the way it is. I was just thinking the other day that we have never traveled or been on a cruise, but what we do enjoy doing together is just the simple things in life. And so when something just kind of pops up, like the video that we'll be talking about later, it was just, oh, yeah, let's just do this. This makes sense.
Okay, we maybe have been a little bit misleading about Larry and Chris. It is true that most of their videos have had barely a handful of views.
Hurry up, it's almost time.
Yeah, so it was time for a new washing machine, and we bought one, and we had no idea until we did our first load that at the end of the load it actually plays a little song from Schubert. We thought it was kind of cute, I guess, and we've only had the washing machine about 2 weeks, and actually came home from church one day and go, what if we create a dance? And so...
Well, yeah, you think doing laundry is kind of mundane in itself, but this nice little tune at the end of the washing machine cycle kind of made it cheery. And this was one of the spontaneous ones that were kind of put together in 5 minutes or so. Ran through it once or twice and then set up the camera.
Chris is a dancer, but I am not at all, so I really messed up in it, but it was still fun to make.
What is that? It's a microwave. Let's go. Okay.
When that video found its way onto a site that shares unwatched content, something quite miraculous happened.
Yeah, so when we first saw the stats, it was low, and then all of a sudden, bam, it increases to 40,000. In fact, on some other sites, it was also shared, so I think there's been views of about 4 million.
I don't think we ever envisioned any kind of glorification. Our main motivation is to give, and that's what we want to do.
Before we got married, we decided to take a month just to think about it, to see if we were right for each other. And near the end of that time, Chris had a little vision of what our marriage was going to be like.
I just saw in my mind that vision of the two of us being strong in our marriage and giving hope to others for a good, strong marriage.
We do have a vision for our next video, our next music video, or it will be a music video, and it's to a song I get to love you. And I think the reason we chose that is a lot of times in marriage, we hear things like marriage is just, it's hard, it's a real challenge, but we're going to somehow figure out how to make it work. But our whole philosophy is that marriage is a perfect design, and if anything's failing in it or struggling with it, it's something we have to change within ourselves. But we, in our marriage, look at it as, man, we get to be married. We get to have two people becoming one. Chris, what are some of the words of the song?
Well, it starts out saying, "One look at you, my whole life falls in line. I prayed for you before I called you mine. I can't believe it's true sometimes. I can't believe it's true." And the chorus is, "I get to love you. It's the best thing that I'll ever do. I get to love you. It's a promise I'm making to you. Whatever may come, your heart I will choose. Forever I'm yours, forever I do. I get to love you."
Now, you could be as cynical as you'd like, but Larry and Chris really do mean what they say. And while the experience of having 4 million people watch their video might have encouraged them, it certainly hasn't changed why they do it. They've not gone chasing views like somebody wanting to become the next YouTube sensation. And you can be sure that if their next video gets a big fat 0 views, it won't stop them making the next one after that. For them, that is not what this is about. It's about demonstrating their ongoing love for one another.